Alright, what's going on guys? This is David for Flicks Talk Podcast. Now I'm back this time with a retro review, so we're going to dive into the year 1986, and I want to let you know that there is a new release from Best Drawn. Now I hope you guys can get this, the reflective cover. That actually might show up a little better, but it is the Best Drawn release, and it's in a collector's series from Stephen King called Maximum Overdrive. Now this movie does star Emilio Estevez, Pat Hingle, Laura Harrington, and probably a slew of other people that you don't know unless you grew up kind of in the 70s or 80s, but for some reason it's a movie that always really stuck with me, guys, and I'm glad that I got it on this new Blu-ray release. So it did come out this past Tuesday, October 23rd, so make sure you guys can see if you can try to find it. I did find it at my local Best Buy, but like I said, it is a limited run. There was only one copy on the shelf, and surprisingly I grabbed it. Now for a Blu-ray transfer, it looks okay. I mean, I remember seeing it on TV, VHS, and DVD, so anything from that quality was definitely a step up in this feature right here. But one thing that really stood out, guys, before I get into the whole synopsis of the film, was all the special features that it has. So it has a lot of audio commentary, as well as interviews, and behind the scenes footage, a still gallery, theatrical trailer, and TV spots. Now, one thing I still need to check out, especially after watching this movie so recently, since, you know, seeing it like decades before, was the behind the scenes footage. I really want to check out how they were able to create all of this. Before I get into what I'm even talking about, let's get into a quick synopsis of the film. So, a group of people try to survive when machines start to come alive and become homicidal. So roughly, guys, no spoilers, but there is a comet that kind of flies over Earth's orbit, and it kind of leaves a green, eerie debris kind of floating over the Earth, I believe for 8 days, and it starts to bring to life these electronics now, whether that be pinball machines, you know, soda machines, cars in general. They really just start to take over and just terrorize humans. We don't know why, we just know that they're a force to be reckoned with. Now I thought it was really cool because we get our main actor of a young Emilio Estevez. Now like I said, this came out in 1986, so you definitely get to see a young rising star. I haven't seen Emilio recently, so I don't know what he's doing, but I know he's definitely kind of living in his brother Charlie Sheen's shadow. If you guys don't know, Charlie Sheen did change his last name from Estevez to Sheen, and Emilio kind of kept his name, you know, staying true to his roots and stuff like that for Hollywood, you know, and maybe that was kind of his downfall of why you don't see him too recently. I don't know, but this movie is great, guys, if you guys are into that 80s cheese, and what adds to everything is the soundtrack. So if you guys can see right here, it says featuring music from AC/DC. I don't know if that's going to focus in, but this was a really cool soundtrack. So when crazy things started happening, you got to hear a really cool soundtrack, some 80s hairband music, you know, in the background as crazy things were transpiring. Now, one of the main reasons I wanted to pick up this Blu-ray was for the behind the scenes, like I said. Now, if you guys have not seen the movie, you know, semi-trucks are moving on their own, and we get to see the gears kind of shifting, and I always wondered how the hell did they do that? But now I can kind of check out the features and figure out how. This movie was way behind its time as far as, you know, diving deep with the electronics and more of the practical aspect. This movie is completely practical, no CGI, no green screen, none of that stuff from what I could see. It's just a lot of explosions and a lot of cool things. Now, one thing that I did notice on this IMDb score, it has a score of 5.4 out of 10. Now that's a really low and very, you know, halfway mark right there, meaning that it kind of got an F, D minus if that. And I gotta totally disagree with this. This is one of these movies that really sticks with me, and I kind of watch it at least once a year. Now, one of the main reasons I always go back to watching this movie, I wouldn't call it really a horror. It's kind of like a thriller action type of film with a little bit of super, you know, natural element in there. There is a lot of blood, by the way, and, you know, a couple people getting run over and stuff like that. But the main reason why I love this film is because it's so practical in all of its effects. There's a lot of explosions, so if you guys are into action movies, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. In the 80s, we had so much stuff going on, guys, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, you know, Sylvester Stallone, just a lot of things blowing up. So if you guys are a fan of that type of action, I would definitely check out this movie right here, Maximum Overdrive. And I just love the whole characters, the cast. The character played by Pat Hingle, his name is Hendershot. He was like the owner of the diner where, you know, all these semis finally surround our whole group, you know, our whole cast, and he was just amazing. He always had a cigar in his mouth, and he was always just about, you know, blowing shit up and just pretty much not thinking with his brain, just thinking with his heart, and just immediately going into just blowing up all these semis, not even worried about his own life or his safety or anybody else's safety for that matter. But he was an awesome character, guys. This is definitely one of my favorite Stephen King type of films. Not as far as, you know, his best writing, but it was a fun movie because a lot of his movies don't really get adapted too well to film. but I definitely recommend checking this one if you're trying to have a good time, a good fun time. It's probably like a drinking buddies type of movie. So like I said, guys, check out Maximum Overdrive if you can, and it did get a Vestron limited edition collector's run, so pick that one up if you guys can. If not, watch it on streaming, VOD and all that, but it's probably a good one to watch for this Halloween. Alright guys, if you guys did like this content, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys are always subscribing to my videos, and if you guys agreed with my review. If not, let me know you guys' favorite Stephen King adapted film in the comments below. Alright, thank you guys so much for checking out my video. Until next time, this is David for Flix Talk signing out, saying thanks for watching.